Hey, my lovelies, welcome or welcome back. If it's your first time here, then welcome. My name's Mandy. It's good to have you along. And if you have been before and seen some of my other videos, then welcome back. It's a pleasure to have you, and thank you so much for your continued support. It is so much appreciated. I'm so grateful. So just before we get started, if you do like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and please do consider subscribing. It literally takes you 2 seconds to do. And it's absolutely free of charge to you. It doesn't cost you a thing. I'm not asking for memberships at all, but it just really helps me out as a channel, and it just means that my videos get in front of a lot more lovely people just like you. So please do consider doing that if you do like the content that you see. So that being said, thank you for sticking with me. I'm sorry there was no video last week, but my dad was extremely poorly, to the point I thought that was it. I thought he was, I thought he was end of life. Gratefully and thankfully, he is still with us. He's still not very well, but he is still with us. So I do apologise. So there may be weeks where there aren't videos, but I will certainly try my best to get them out weekly and keep them to the schedule that I agreed to. But on a happier note, we have got some progression with the house, which I will confirm with you at a later date once things are a little bit more concrete. So that being said, we'll jump into our little chat today. It is going to be, I think it's going to be a brief one, but you never know. You know me, I go off at a tangent and I just start talking about randoms. But I just wanted to talk about life over 50, because that is really what this channel is all about. And there are things that have kind of come to mind over the last couple of weeks, and while they have, I've been writing them down. So if you do see me looking down at any point, then please do excuse me, but I have written notes, so I don't want to kind of miss anything. I just kind of want to chat about it. So I remember when I was much younger, sort of in my teens, I remember my nan saying to me that once you turn 21, life will fly by. And bloody hell, was she right? It was like the day I turned 21, someone hit the fast forward button. It's been ridiculous. And sort of when you look back on past events and you're just like, oh, that happened in the 80s, or that happened in 2000, or early 2000s. And it just doesn't seem that long ago, which it doesn't. Even when I think about things that happened in the 80s, it really does not seem that long ago. But obviously the 80s was 40 years ago. And even if you just go back to more recently and you say, oh yeah, that was early 2000s, it was 20 years ago. Yeah, I'm just letting that sink in with you. It was 20 bloody years ago. I know. It really does blow my mind, because, like I say, when I think about them, some of the memories feel like yesterday, or when I'm chatting about stuff, it literally does just feel like it was yesterday. So my nan was absolutely bob on with that. She really was. But I want to have a chat about things that, once you turn 50, I think become more prevalent in your life, and you reflect on them a lot more. I mean, I've not had a problem turning 50. I'm actually 53 now, but I didn't have a problem turning 50. And I had a massive problem turning 40. A massive problem. I really struggled with 40. But 50, no, not a problem. But it does make you reflect a lot more. So these are just a few things that I probably reflect on a lot more now than I ever have done. So this is one I try not to think about a lot, because I do try and stay in the moment. I do try and stay very positive. And I find that if I do think about these too much, it kind of brings my vibe down a little bit, and I don't like that. And it's regrets. Now, regrets they're absolutely unavoidable. You are going to have regrets of some nature, and it'll be that, oh, I didn't get a chance to do that. I couldn't afford to do that. I didn't have time to do that, or there's always an excuse, isn't there? And I think the trick is just don't dwell on it. Don't dwell on it. Don't look back. Don't look back. You're not going that way. And that is a mantra I do firmly believe in. Do not look back. You are not going that way. You keep looking in the direction you need to go in. And it's the only way that I have kind of dealt with it is by making new plans, making new bucket lists, setting new goals, and kind of setting a limit of when you want to achieve these things by. And bucket lists, to me, I've always been a bit, what's that all about? Do you know what I mean? But I think when you do get older, I think there are some things that you just think, do you know what? I've never actually done that. But now I've got the time, and now I've got probably a little bit of extra money. Let's do it. Let's give it a go. Now, one of mine is archery, and I really, really want to give archery a go. And I am hopefully this year going to give it a go. I'll probably wait till the summer. The weather recently hasn't really been, it hasn't really been the best of times to be doing archery. So I may leave it till the summer. But yes, I am actually I'm going to go and give it a go. There's a place near me. There is an archery club, and I'm going to go and test it out and see how I feel with it. And another one is going to like a shooting range. I've always kind of wanted to do that. So yeah, I might tick them off my bucket list. So I think it is the way forward by making yourself a bucket list, or setting yourself new goals, and setting yourself a little time limit to sort of do them in. So say by the end of this year, you want to have ticked off at least 2 off your bucket list. And I think you've got to embrace your successes. Don't dwell on your regrets. Embrace your successes. Think about what it is that you've achieved, that you're proud of, that has got you to where you are today. And I think you've also got to embrace your failures as well. You've got to take the light with the dark and the good with the bad, haven't you? So if we didn't have failures, we wouldn't learn. So yeah, I think you have to embrace your failures as well. Another one, sorry, I was just kind of reading my notes there, but another one is loneliness. I don't think about it a lot, but sometimes it does come to me. Obviously, I'm now single, and I don't have children. Now, obviously, I'm only 53. Things can change. Obviously, it's not going to with the children. The things with the children hasn't going to have changed for 20 odd years, because, as I put it, I've been spayed. So it's not going to happen. But obviously, there could be a very lovely person out there who is deserving of the love that I give. But loneliness does creep into my mind now and again. I am not lonely in any way, shape, or form. I am very, very, very comfortable in my own company. I do not need people around me. I never have. I am maybe a little bit of a loner. But then again, sometimes I don't mind being in a room of people that I know. I do get a little bit of social anxiety when it's people that I don't know, it's situations I don't know. If somebody invites me to a birthday party or something like that, and I only say no them and their partner or something, that gives me anxiety because I'm just like, I don't know anybody else. But yes, if I'm in company that I know, I'm quite happy. But I'm also extremely happy in my own company. So I don't find I get lonely. Sometimes I get a little bit bored. You know, there's only so much reading of books, there's only so much cross stitch, there's only so many making cards you can make. Sometimes I do get a little bit bored. But then, you know, you kind of think, oh, what? Let's go to the cinema. Let's do something like that. But then, you know, you have a look and it's like, oh, God, really don't fancy any of them. So, yeah, I think one of my bucket lists is to get out there a little bit more this year, for definite. But yeah, don't feel lonely. Just try and surround yourself with people who support you and lift you up, and who are there for you. And you know, loneliness comes in many, you know, being alone, I should say, not necessarily loneliness, but being alone, it comes in many shapes and forms. It could be a relationship ending, it could be that your partner's died, it could be that friends and family have moved away. You know, you could have empty nest syndrome because your children are of that age where they've all moved out, they've gone to university, or they've got married and sort of have moved on. Or it could just be that you have a partner but they work away, and it could just be they work away Monday to Friday and they're home at weekends, which is a situation that I've been in with a couple of partners. Or it could be that maybe they work on the rigs, so it's like a couple of weeks there and then a couple of weeks home, or they could be in a contract where they work abroad, and you know, they could be away for months. But again, it's leaving you in that kind of situation where you feel alone. You do feel alone, and I'm not saying that just because you're in a relationship where people work away, that you're in the wrong relationship. I'm not saying that at all. Because what I was going to say was that it's better to be alone than be in a relationship and feel alone. But that is all down to your relationship, isn't it? But I understand that even though you've got a partner, there may be times where you do feel alone. But it's just a case, like I say, you've got to surround yourself with people who love and support you, and who you can count on times like that, where you can just ring them up, or you know, you can just say, do you want to pop round for a coffee, or do you want to meet up for a coffee? Just something like that, just to get you out and about. And I do firmly believe that you've got to take the bull by the horns, and you've just got to, what's the saying? Live each day like it's your last. You've just got to squeeze the life out of everything, because one, you really do not know what is around the corner. And do you really want to be on your deathbed and have so many regrets? Just at least have a go at the things that you want to do. And if there is, say, like a financial limit on something, then find something similar that is a little bit more affordable. But yeah, just live each day to the maximum. Try some new hobbies. You never ever know. You might be pleasantly surprised. I've actually been watching I've actually been watching a series on Channel 4, and it was a craft series, and there was even some crafts in there that I thought, oh, do you know what? I actually wouldn't mind giving them a go. It's something that would put me out of my comfort zone a little bit with learning something new. And you can never stop learning. That's what I say. Never ever stop learning. It's amazing. And that's what we're here for. That's what we're here to do, is learn. Also, another thing is health, both mentally and physically. Obviously, mentally, especially for the women, menopause is a massive factor to that. You do get brain fog, you do get confused, you do have memory loss. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. And a lot of women really do struggle with the menopause. They really do. And it's just a case of just trying to stay as healthy as you can. I never went on to HRT just purely because when I was growing up, there was such bad publicity about HRT. And I have an holistic friend in my life, and she told me that she had a lot of clients that go to her that went on HRT, and she is trying to wean them off it because it either wasn't working, they didn't like the way it made them feel, or they just felt that they were coming out the other side of it and they weren't getting any instructions from their doctors on, they just were quite happy to leave them on it. And basically what it does is it basically just stops your body from going through the process of menopause. It just puts a total block on it. So when you stop taking the HRT, your body gets hit full force and you will get menopause symptoms like 1,000 times worse than what you had them in the beginning. So my holistic friend then has to give them tinctures and God knows what to help their body naturally do it. And I had a couple of tinctures offer at the beginning of, well, I don't know whether it was the beginning, whether it's the middle, but at a time where I felt I was struggling. And yeah, worked wonders, just sort of 2 or 3 months of taking these tinctures, and it worked no end. So if you can, and if you are in a financial position to do it, I really would suggest you take the holistic route through menopause rather than HRT. And that's if you need it. Some people absolutely sail through menopause, jammy buggers. And I've got to admit, mine's probably not been anywhere near as bad as somebody else's. But then again, to other people, I might have been quite bad. So everybody's different. Everybody's life's different. Everybody's journey is different. So that's why you should always be kind, because you just never know what anybody else is going through. So I think we'll leave it there for today because we're approaching 20 minutes on this, and I wanted to make it quite a quick one. So the other kind of things that I've got on this, I'll probably kind of go back over on the health. I'll probably double up on that on the next video and do a part 2, and just talk about the other few that I've made a note on next time. So I'll leave it there for today, and next week hopefully I will have some more news for you. We can do a part 2 to this, and yeah. So Until next time, stay safe, look after yourselves, stay kind, and don't let anybody dim your light. Don't let anybody or anything dim your light. You just keep shining bright. And I shall speak to you very soon. Bye-bye, my lovelies.